Hi players, bonjour from Geneva, my name is Asaf and welcome to my channel Easy Board Games. Today we're going to have a playthrough for the solo mode of Unconcious Mind that was published by Fantasia Games. Before we're getting started, I want to a little bit apologize. I call actually the automa in this game ID, and actually I should have called it id, which is apparently a term in psychology that I really didn't know, so I apologize for that. And I would like to thank Julien, my good friend, for correcting me in that mistake in that manner, and also for verifying this video. As always, if you saw something that you like or learned something new, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free and it's a huge way to help me out. Ready to see how it goes? Let the solo playthrough begin. Alright guys, so as always I've already skipped setup, so let's dive in directly into the playthrough. Now in the solo mode we're going to play against the ID, so that means that we're going to have here a 1 versus 1 game, and this is why you can see that I have set the meeting table into a 2-player game with both sides over here that are going to be blocked. Since we are the first player, let's just take our first action. And like in all of my videos, guys, I'm just here to show you as many cases as possible and how actually our opponent is going to work. So don't mind me doing any kind of weird decisions or something like that, just because this video is not here at all to give you any kind of strategical advices. So we're going to start with taking these two ideas over here and place them on the meeting table in this kind of way. So we'll be able to take 2 tiles. For this, we can already pay the 4 coffee, right? Because 2 coffee per action, we're going to do this action twice. So from 4 coffee, we're going to go down to 0. Now let's start with taking this first tile that we have over here and place it right over here in our board. And now we're going to, of course, activate what we can see on the right side. That means 1 activation in this location right over here. And I think that we're going to take 1 coffee as our bonus. Then we're going to flip our tile to the other side. And of course, we're going to refill this position right over here. So for the second tile, I think what we're going to do is to take this one right over here, place it in our tableau. First of all, since we have just unlocked an entire row, we're going to take this player insight and place it in our insight dial. Then we're going to activate the right side, which is exactly the same location as we did before. And I think that we're going to take again 1 cup of coffee. So from 1, we're going to take it up to 2. Then we're going to flip this tile right over here. And then we can look again back at the meeting table, refreshing the tile right over here. And then we're going to see that we have placed it in the first row. That means that we're going to move our Inkpot 1 step. So we're going to place it right over here, and then we're going to activate the entire row as we please. That means in any order that we would like. Let's start with the first one. That means to take an insight and place it in the minor green track, just like this in the first tier. Then let's go to this one. We're going to pay 1 coffee in order to take 1 insight and place it in the 3rd tier right over here. Going back again, we're going to pay again 1 coffee in order to place 1 insight over here and 1 insight over here. Then we're going to advance with one of our markers. So I would like to move forward with this one that is on the orange-red track. And then we would be able to activate this tile right over here, but at this time I choose not to do it. Now that we have finished with our turn, we're going to move on to the ID. So looking at the ID playing area, we can see a few elements that we don't have with our regular opponent, of course. Don't worry, we're going to talk about them when time comes. But the first thing that I would like to explain to you is this card right over here. That is basically the ID's turn if they have 2 or more ideas or bright ideas in their possession. Since right now they have 3 ideas and 1 bright idea, what they're going to do is to draw one of these cards right over here that is called a meeting table card. So let's take the top card that we have right over here and take a look what is going on. So you can see that we have basically the meeting table, and now it is stated where they would like to place their ideas. So let's place it just like this, so we'll be able to understand a little bit better. Then we're going to take 2 ideas from the supply of the ID, and we're going to place them exactly in the same location. In our case, it means to place the ideas right over here. As you can see, it corresponds, and it doesn't really matter where the ideas are pointing at, just because the ID is not going to take an action over here. It's just important so we will understand how many times they're going to move their Inkpot. After we've done that, we're going to see that the ID is going to move their Inkpot 3 times. So we're going to move 1, 2, and 3. And then, depends on the location, we're going to activate it. So when it's in one of these positions right over here, second, third, or fourth, we're going to activate the entire row. What does it mean? First of all, we're going to activate from left to right. This is the first symbol that we're going to activate. Now, the second card that I would like you to pay attention to is the conversion card that we have right over here. So we can see that every time that the ID needs to receive one of the minor insights, instead of that, they're going to receive 1 cup of coffee. So from 0, they're going to have now 1. Now we basically need to activate all the active tiles that we have in their tableau. For now, we can see that in this row we have 0 activated tiles, so we're not going to perform any more actions, but we are going to flip the leftmost tile in that row to their active side. So we're going to take this one right over here and flip it to the other side. And with that, we have finished the first turn of the ID, and we're going to go back to our player board. In our turn, I would like to start entreating the client that we have over here. So as we can see on the manifest dream that we have right over here, we will need to pay one green insight, the one that is in the third tier. So from here, we're going to slide it back to the middle of the dial. And then we need to pay 2 minor purple insights. So this is exactly what we have over here. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to resolve whatever we have on the right side. So let's do the first thing, and that is to receive 1 bright idea. And then we can move our treatment marker 3 times. So from 6, we're going to do 5, 4, and 3. This card we can put in the discard pile that is situated in the main playing area. And also, as you've noticed, I have covered now the catharsis symbol. That means that we're going to remove the grief layer that we have right over here. So let's take the bonuses that we can see, and that is 2 cups of coffee and 1 bright idea. Now, of course, we have revealed these 2 things that are going to accompany us until the end of the game. This one is quite interesting, and that means that anytime that we would like, we can take one of the insights from one of the colors and slide it to another color in the same tier. On top of that, since we have just removed the grief layer, this card is going to go back to the box, and we're going to draft another patient. Now, since this is not a classic how to play or playthrough, I'm going to do it off screen. If you would like to watch my explanatory playthrough, feel free to do it on Board Games Co. channel. I'm going to leave a link down below. So this is the client that I have just drafted with the 2 dreams, the manifest and the latent. And since we can see over here that we have 5 hearts, the marker is going to go to number 5. With that, guys, I have finished my turn, and we're going to go back to the ID. Now, the ID, as you can see, has still 2 or more ideas or bright ideas. Again, it can be a combination. So that means that we're going to draw another meeting table card, and we're going to resolve it. So let's draw this one and see what we have over here. This is going to be quite interesting. So we're going to take the idea and bright idea from the possession of the ID. And we can see basically that now we need to place the ideas in the same location that is already occupied by other players' ideas, doesn't matter which one. So we're going to follow this arrow that we have right over here, and we're going to place it in the next available position. That means right over here. So let's place it just like this, and that means that we're going to move the Inkpot 2 steps. So right over here, we're going to do 1 and 2, and as you can see, we have passed this marker right over here. That means that we're going to kind of free this idea and place it in our possession. On top of that, now we need to activate one of the unblocked, of course, columns that we have. It's going to be super simple since this is the only one that is being unlocked. So let's start with the first one that we can see right over here. And that basically means that we're going to take the rightmost top tile that we can see over here, the notebook tile. So let's take it, place it for now over here. Then we're going to activate the right side of it. And again, let's go again to the conversion card that we have. And every time that we need to activate one of the locations where instead of that, the ID is going to take 1 cup of coffee. Now that we have resolved that, we can first of all take this tile over here and remove it from the game, can go back to the box. And now we're going to refill again the notebook tile that we have. So this one is going to slide to the right, and we're going to draw another one. Then we're going to continue down over here, but we can see that this notebook tile is non-active. So we're going to continue to the next one. So the first thing that the IDE is going to do is to draw the first top research card that we have, and they're going to immediately replace it with one of the two research cards that are already in display. And we'll be able to understand which one they're going to replace using the compass token that we have. So the compass token right now is pointing to the right side. So that means that we're going to change this one right over here. So let's take this one, replace it with this research card right over here. Sorry, that was upside down. And then before we're moving on, the moment that we have used the compass token in order to understand which decision we would like to take, we're going to flip it to the other side 180 degrees, of course, to point to the other direction. So now that we have done that, we're going to move on to the icon that we have over here. And that means to play one of the research cards that we have sort of in our hands. Since we have only one at the moment, we're simply going to play it. Let me place it just like this. And the ID is going to receive immediately the 3 bonuses that we have over here. So again, going to the conversion rate, we can see that every time that we have this symbol, every time that we're going to elevate one of our insights, instead of that, the ID is going to receive 1 cup of coffee. So let's start, and now we're going to do it one step at a time. So this is the first cup of coffee. This is the second one, but now pay attention that the ID has 4 cups of coffee. And every time that the ID has 4 cups of coffee, they're going to immediately, even if it's in between the actions, they're going to convert these 4 cups of coffee into one heart-shaped box. Now you remember that we have still 1 more cup of coffee to take, so from 0 it's going to go to 1. And with that, basically, they have finished their actions, but at the end of each turn, this is what we can see over here on this card, if they have at least 1 heart-shaped box, they're going to start treating their clients. So right now it's super easy since this client doesn't exist yet, so we're going to treat this one. Later we're going to see what is going to happen when they have 2 clients. So the ID is going to spend this heart-shaped box in order to take the marker 1 step backwards. From 5, it's going to go to 4. And with that, we have finished the turn of the ID, and we're going to go back to our player board. Moving to our turn, I'm going to take 1 idea and 1 bright idea, and I'm going to place them over here, pointing to this action that we have. So I think I'm going to elevate this insight right over here, and also let's do this one just like this. And I don't wish to take this action to move one of the insights to another color. In any case, with this patient over here, we can do it as many times as we would like. But now let's move our Inkpot 3 times. So we're going to do it 1, 2, and 3. And since we're stopping over here, we're going to activate the reputation track. So first of all, we're going to take 1 victory point, and also we're going to receive 2 cups of coffee. And then we're going to choose one of these 2 things. Since we don't have right now any research cards, we're going to take just 1 bright idea, and we're going to place it in our possession. Finished with our turn, we're going to move back to the ID. Now the ID has only 1 idea in their possession. So since this is less than 2, we're going to flip this card to the other side, and we're going to start resolving what we have over here. So first thing first, we're going to see, just like in a normal game, in how many different positions they have placed their ideas. First of all, sorry about that, the bright ideas need, of course, to go back to the main supply. We can see that they have placed their ideas in 2 different locations, so for that they're going to receive 2 cups of coffee. From 1, we're going to go to 3, then they're going to recall their ideas and place it in their supply. And the second step that we have over here is that they're going to take something that is called a recall bonus. A recall bonus is something very similar to what we have as a normal player with the city board that we have over here. And their preference is to first of all try and take a district bonus. This is what we have over here, either in their location or in Freud's location. But they need to hold a certain condition. Now the thing is that since they still don't have any tags at all and still they haven't released any one of their players inside, it means that they will not be able to claim one of the rewards, and we're going to move on to their second preference, and that means to take a location bonus. Now, when they want to take a location bonus, again, it's going to be in their location or in Freud's location. They're going to claim the topmost bonus that we have. Right now, this is the bonus that they will be able to take. So what they're going to do is to take the first marker that we have, and they're going to place it here and claim this bonus. As you obviously can see, now we're going to advance with their reputation and also Freud's reputation. So Freud's reputation is moving over here. Since we have, of course, passed this icon, Freud is going to move one step forward, and also the ID reputation marker is going to move one step. Now we'll need to choose again one of the columns to activate the entire column. So no problem with that. We already know which one we're going to activate. That is the only one that is free. So we're going to go over here and we're going to do exactly the same as we have done before. So we're going to start with this tile, of course. That means again taking the tile that we have over here. Let's place it next to their player board. We're going to activate the right side, but we already know that this activation means to give them 1 cup of coffee. From there, they're going to go to 4 and then immediately convert these cups of coffee to one heart-shaped box. Now we can take this tile and put it back in the box, and then we're going to refill, of course, the meeting table. Then we're going to move on to the next tile, which is this one, because this one is still non-active. So now again, they're going to draw the first research card that we have, just like this. And now they're going to replace it, as you can see, with a compass arrow. They're going to change it with a left one. So we're going to take this one, take it out, then we're going to take it to our possession, and we're going to play it immediately, placing it just like this. And here we don't have an immediate bonus, so we're not going to do anything. Let's keep it just like this. Now we're going to continue treating our patient because we have one heart-shaped box over here. So let's take it back to 0, and we're going to move this marker one step ahead. And as you can see, we have just covered the catharsis. So we're going to remove the grief layer that we have just over here. We're going to take for it one bright idea and 2 cups of coffee. And now we're going to take the first tile that we have over here, and we're going to move it directly to the card itself. Since usually the bonuses that we have on the different clients don't really serve the ID, so this is something that is just going to give them more location icons. Now we're going to remove this card right over here, and they're going to draft their next patient. Now every time that the ID needs to draft a patient to their secondary office, they're going to draft a case study patient. Which one they're going to take, of course, that depends again on the compass arrow. So right now it's actually supposed to be to the right because I've used it before for the research cards and I forgot to turn it to the other side. I apologize. So they're going to draft the right one that we have. In our case, it's going to be this study case right over here. Let's take it. We're going to place it over here. Then, of course, since we have over here 6 hearts, we're going to move it to the 6th position, and also it's something that is going to score 1 victory point for the ID. And now it's time to take the latent dream card, so no problem at all. Let's place it right over here. And when the ID needs to choose one of the manifest dreams, they're going to take the one that has the most hearts. If we have a tie, then again we're going to go to the compass token. I have, of course, placed it again to the other side. So now they're going to take the left one. So let's take this one that we have because both of these have 4 hearts. We're going to take it and we're going to place it right over here, and then immediately, of course, change the compass to the other side. Let's open here a new card and, of course, place here another case study. Now that we have finished the recall ideas phase for the ID, we're going to go back to our player board. In our turn, what I would like to do is to treat our client again. So what we need to do is to pay this major fire thingy. Let's put it over here. And then also we need to pay 1 minor orange and 1 minor purple. Now, as you can see, we don't have it all insights over here, but we do remember that we have this icon right over here with this patient. So I'm going to move one insight over here and one insight over here. Now we can pay those two, so we're going to put them in the middle, and then we're going to resolve what we have on the right side of the latent dream. So what we're going to do is to, first of all, move the heart 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. That basically means that we have finished treating this client. Let's play it in our player board, just placing it over here for now. And that is something that is going to immediately score for us 10 victory points. And also we're going to do whatever we have right over here. So either move with our professor 2 steps or teleport ourselves kind of to the location of Freud. I think that what we're going to do is to move ourselves 2 locations. So let's go 1 and 2 right over here. And then we'll be able, of course, to activate this place. Unfortunately, we don't have any location tags, so we're just going to do it 1 time. In my case, I think what I would like to do is to take this bonus, and that means taking 1 insight and put it in the first tier of the orange track. Now it's time, of course, to draft a new client, so I'm just going to do it off screen. And as you can see, we have now a client with 6 hearts, so let's put this marker over here, and that is something that is going to score for us 1 more victory point. With that, we have finished our turn, and going back to the ID. Now that the ID has 2 or more ideas in their possession, we're going to draw again one of these cards over here. So this is the one, and let's take 2 ideas, and we're going to place it in the exact same location. In our case, it's going to be right over here. Again, doesn't matter where it's going to point. And we're going to move our Inkpot 2 times. So let's do it 1 and 2. Then we're going to activate the first icon that we have. That means that they're going to receive 1 cup of coffee. And since in this row we don't have any tiles that are active, we're simply going to flip this tile right over here to the other side. And with that, we have finished the turn of the ID. The next thing that I would like to do is to take 2 bright ideas and place them right over here. So we're going to take 2 research cards. Let's start with the first one. This is the card that we have. For me, I think I would prefer to take this one right over here. And then we're going to take another card. Let's see, what do we have? This is a green one. And to be honest with you, I think this is kind of a good card to take. So we're going to place it over here again, face down. Then we're going to move our Inkpot 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have, of course, passed this symbol right over here. And that means that this idea is going to be free. Then, unfortunately, we have here no tiles at all, so we're just going to activate this one. That means to take 1 insight and place it in the first tier over on the orange track. With that, we have finished our turn, not before, of course, taking the bright ideas back to the supply, moving back to the ID. So by now, you guys, you already understood plus minus how the general flow of the game works. Of course, we're not going to see all the different actions on the tableau that the ID will be able to take, but I think that if you understood so far the flow of the game, it will be relatively easy for you to understand how the ID operates and check the rulebook if you don't understand anything. But just before calling it a night, let's continue 1 or 2 more turns and see what is going to happen. So again, the ID now is going to draw one of the meeting table cards. Let's place it over here. Then they're going to take 2 of their ideas and they're going to place it in the exact same location. In our case, it's going to be right over here, and then they're going to move their Inkpot 2 times. So pay attention, we're going to move 1 and 2. And now you can see that we're situated on the overlay tile that we have placed there during setup. In this case, the Inkpot is going to advance the exact same number of times as we have advanced it so far. In our case, it was 2 times, so we're going to move again 1 and 2 right over here. First of all, we have again skipped this icon, but now we can see that on this position, we have first of all a bright idea that is covering the normal idea. We're just going to take the bright idea and place it right over here. Then we're going to activate the entire row. So from left to right, first of all, we're going to take the minor insight that we have. We already know that we're going to take for it 1 cup of coffee. Now we have 4 coffee, so immediately we're going to exchange it for one heart-shaped box. Then we're going to continue to this tile right over here. So you already know that it means we're going to take this tile that we have at the top right corner. We're going to place it over here. We're going to activate the right side. That means, again, 1 cup of coffee. Now this tile can go back to the box. And we don't have any more active tiles in this row, so what we're going to do is just to take this one and flip it to the other side. And you can see that this one is kind of similar to this one. It just means to activate a different row. Let's refill the meeting table over here. And with that, we have finished the action of the ID, moving back to our place. Before taking my next action, I would like to convert 3 cups of coffee into taking one bright idea. And then I'm going to take that bright idea and I'm going to place it right over here, pointing to this action. Now, we're going to take first the action that we have on the left. That means that we're going to play up to 2 research cards that we have. That's perfect because it's exactly what I have over here. That means taking 1 insight and put it in the first tier of the orange track. And then I'm going to receive 3 cups of coffee with this one. And the second thing that I would like to do is to actually publish a treatise. We have 1 green and 1 red. And as you can see, this treatise is going to serve us well. We're going to place it just like this, not forgetting, of course, that we need to take one of our own insights in our color and place it over here. And that is something that is going to score for us immediately 8 victory points. So from 13, we're going to have 21. Now we're going to move our Inkpot 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. We have skipped this symbol, so this idea is going to be free. And then we're going to activate the entire row. Let's start with this one over here. So that is 1 insight that we're going to place on the green. Then let's spend 1 cup of coffee in order to take 1 insight and place it at the highest marker that we have over here. Moving on. I don't think that I would like to do it. I think that I would like to take this one that is just to augment one of our insights to the second tier. And now let's go back to this one. Let's pay this one a minor purple insight that we have in order to take 1 bright idea. So no problem at all. Let's place it right over here. With that, guys, we have finished our turn and we're going to move back to the ID. The ID has still 2 bright ideas in their possession, so that means we're going to take another card just like this. Let's take the 2 ideas and we're going to place it in the same location, so over here. Then we're going to advance with the Inkpot 4 times, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, we have passed this icon, so we're going to take this idea now and we're going to place it over here. And now we need to activate the column that has the most activated notebook tiles. In our case, of course, it's this column right over here. Let's start with this one, and we already know what we need to do. So taking the first tile, now I'm not going to play it in our player area. Let's just take it, activate it over here. That means 1 cup of coffee for the ID. Now this tile can go back to the box and we're going to take a new tile. And then, guys, before moving on to this tile, I'm so sorry I forgot that once we have unlocked the entire column over here, this player marker, of course, is going to be free. We're going to place it right over here. And this is something that is going to help, of course, the idea a little bit later. So moving on to this tile, we're going to move Freud up to 3 steps to the location that we're going to trigger the most effects. Now the thing is that let's see what are the different tags that we have. We have in the green district, we have 1 of each, right? In the other card, we don't have at all. We have over here in the red district, again, 1 tag for each location, but in the purple one, we're going to have in a specific location, we're going to have 2 tags. So these tags over here correspond to this location. We're going to move with Freud 1 and 2, and then we're going to activate this location, of course, 2 times because we have 2 tags. And we already remember that with the conversion card, for each activation, they're going to receive 1 cup of coffee. 2 activations, that means 2 cups of coffee. We have 4 coffee, back to 0, and we're going to advance 1 step with a heart-shaped box. Now we're going to move on to this tile right over here. So again, we're going to take one of the research cards. We're going to replace it with the right one. So this one is going to go out, this one is playing here. Since we have used the compass token, we're going to flip it to the other side and we're going to play it immediately. So let's place this card right over here. We can take the bonuses. That means to take 2 cups of coffee, 1 and 2. Then we're going to move on to the last symbol that we have over here. That is another cup of coffee for the ID. And now since we have a 1 heart-shaped box, we're going to use it in order to treat our patient. Now, here's the thing. We have here 2 patients, right? So we're going to use again the compass token that we have, and we're going to treat the left patient. Now, let's, just for the sake of it, okay, imagine that we had 2 heart-shaped box. Now we need to start and applying these treating points as evenly as we can between the patients. So the first one will go to this client right over here using this token. Then we're going to flip it to the other side and use the second heart-shaped box to advance on the therapy track 1 over here. So again, guys, as evenly as possible. Since this was not our case, we're just going to heal 1 point over here. Remember, the token was just like this. This is 1, and then we're going to flip it to the other side. So the next time the ID is going to use a 1 heart-shaped box, they're going to treat the case study patient. And with that, guys, even though my next move could have been quite cool, I think that I'm going to call it a night. I hope that you understood how the ID actually operates. I think that after 1 or 2 rounds, you're going to grasp it kind of well. It's a little bit going back and forth at the beginning to the iconography just to understand what's going on. But once you understand the preference of the ID, the game is starting to become really super easy and fluid. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.